Hello folks, GWT, West Truther channel, and my other channel, Wonder Man. I'm going to post this video and probably the three that I've already posted on Wonder Man to all three, West Truther, Wonder Man, and Minds.com. I'm going to post it there under West Truther, capital W-E, capital W, E-S, and then a capital T, R-U-T-H-E-R. on Minds.com. One word, West Truther, with the W and the T capitalized. I've had a few people tell me that they didn't used to watch my videos all the way through. And then after a few that they did watch all the way through, they know now that I usually move around on subject matters, and a lot of the stuff that I talk about, they hear it here first. It's just I don't have it all technically savvy like catches people's interest, but I mention it in layman's terms because that's the people I'm trying to talk to, is the average people. My goal is not to get hits, but it's to reach a few minds. I don't need money for it or praise or anything. I just like subscribers who continue to view my videos all the way through, because sooner or later somebody is going to get a hold of something that grabs them by their brain. Sometimes when you think about something, and then as you're thinking about it, you think to yourself, I don't need to think about it. You make a mental note that it's not of importance. Other things you can't connect to your existence, you don't think about them. If you can't connect it to you, your thought leaves it alone, ignores it. So even if it's interesting or exposive, so to speak, the thought doesn't seem to fit itself into your reasoning. I offer some insight in this video here. As I have mentioned and posted the incredible works of other people, because when I post somebody else's work to my channel, I think a lot of it. I have to. There is not much to show that people has to know or has to see the stuff. It's got to enter your mind, into your thought process. Then you go and look at something, then you go to see something, then you listen to something. You've got to develop an interest for it, and your interest, your basic instincts are being taken from you, and folks, you do not realize it's happening to you. You really don't. You think you're clicking on all 8 cylinders, you got a foul plug or two, and you don't, or bad wires, and you just don't realize it. All the Nazis in positions of authority and control over life and death, I use the term Nazis, that encircles a whole lot of different things. And they that are in positions of authority and control over life and death, to 34 to 36 million Poles, Germans, Russians, English and British and American people. And most every one of the scientists, the doctors, the physicists, the chemists, the biologists, and those in technology of military applications, all of these hundreds to a few thousand, I think it's over 2,000, all these monsters from Germany, from Hitler's army, were and are Swiss. The person I told you to go see and listen to his work has over 10 years of research to share about exactly who controls everything across the whole earth. All y'all got to do is go check the guy out. The channel is Chatsy Frast. I'll If I can get the page turned over here quick enough, I'll try to spell it for you since I'm mentioning it right now. ChatZefratz. And you should look at anything you can find that that guy has done. He's had one of his children were kidnapped from him by the people who were threatening his life, and he has not seen the child since then. That's 12, 13 years. This guy has been around, and he is he's under the gun, folks, and he is still out there because he's got guts and determination. He's still out there trying to tell people what's going on in this land, across this flat earth. And I mean, y'all need to check it out. Even Putin is a pharaonic aristocrat and a modern day pharaoh who is a Swiss. And they almost all are from the Swiss Templar Masonic Nazis allegiances and alliances, and one big happy family of pharaohs and all of the aristocracy. And that is humanity, the best of the best, and the rest of us are the worst of the worst, and they're presently getting rid of us. Lock, stock, and barrel, folks. Trump's coming after the guns now. They done staged a bunch more shootings. And it's up, folks. You're only going to have one opportunity to stand up for yourself, and that's when you're armed. They place themselves in high rank and authority over the rest of humanity. I'm sure it's over 85% of the rest of humanity has no ethnic right to exist according to the aristocracy of the pharaohs of Egypt and Rome. The rest of them have no ethnic right to even exist. Every one of the Swiss Nazi officers that I have found information about, the info has always said that they were born under the aristocracy that was Switzerland, what Rome has become and is today. The term Swiss Octagon is not any laughing matter, folks. It's a matter of fact. The same family resides over the North America continent and everyone in it. You cannot hide, so only one thing left, and that's prepare and anticipate. Those of you who's got your thinking caps on, if you aren't considering preparation and anticipation, maybe your thinking caps aren't on very straight. And another thing, when you sleep, keep one eye on the sky. And when you wake, keep one eye on the sky. War is the Pharaoh's doings. It's their ethnic way. It's their ethnic cleansing way. Custom. Sacrifice. The pharaohs aren't the ones that's dying. The aristocracy, they're not going anywhere. They're thriving. They're coming back to life, folks. Y'all better get your thinking caps on. It's they that's doing the genocides. They're responsible for all this ethnic cleansing across the flat earth. Who is invading who? You got to ask yourself that. Individualism of a person or individualism of a country is not allowed. It's not allowed anymore. That's not a freedom that an individual person or a country can feel. They're not allowed to have that. They will be invaded and dominated. Media lies to us. All the media is scripted. Every channel tells you the same story. The very few words even change sometimes. There's videos on YouTube that shows them almost exactly. They're reading an almost perfect copy of the script that 2 or 3 other news channels are saying too. War is a game. It's human lives. It's a pastime, and it's break their boredom. They got everything in the world at their fingertips, all around them. People, humans worshiping them, and that ain't enough. They want to sit back and just let their personality drift off into Never Never Land about a country being invaded, and they're all burned up, they're all microwaved, they're all blown up. They sit back, they think about these things. They love that kind of thought process. War's a game to them, like checkers or chess. Governments, especially the United States, they lie and break all of their treaties to everybody all the time. They always have. The United States has broke more treaties probably than every other country on the earth put together. The Zionist Illuminati, who are Swiss Nazis, terrorists, Templars, and Masons, control everything and pay mercenaries to stalk you and to extort your money. They provoke and they abuse us, all under the absolute control of the Swiss octagon that goes in every direction from Switzerland, which is the central control over everything and on your streets. Operation Paperclip handed the United States over to the New World Order Swiss octagon, and they are a bad bunch. 40 plus years, dreams, everything. It's all gone. There is, y'all think the United States has got a future? Anybody that thinks voting matters, who's in the White House matters, and protest matters, y'all are the worst of the worst, man. Y'all are still watching first grade cartoons. You haven't even graduated to be able to watch adult movies yet. You're so stupid believing that stuff. If you can't look back in your time from where you are now and see the serious decline in humanity's treatment from the pharaonic aristocrats, which I'm telling you, that's where the treatment's coming from, of Switzerland, then you can't think or see very clearly at all. Another sad thing in all countries is when any news is being given you by the media that wasn't there, you got to consider it to be BS. And media that says their report is based on what the cops said? Are you serious? Was it what they want the people to hear, what they want the people to believe, and the locals are assisting the staged terrorist attacks, folks. No one can give any credence to what the cops say. You can't trust them. They lie about everything. They're paid to lie. They're taught to lie. Not any one of your friends are one of them, and they are not going to protect you, laugh out loud. It's you that they stalk. In older days, before digital took over, there were lots of pictures of corpses, and they weren't covered up or zipped up in body bags that can be a bag full of blankets. And allow me to say that soon the powers of the New World Order will be fewer in numbers, and they will control much larger areas. They'll have the ownership. They will be the dictator. And folks, I'm going to tell you right now, some of these places are not going to be a fun place for y'all to end up living in. And one person could eventually end up owning the whole entire North American continent. It will happen out in the future somewhere. No more than 2 people will end up controlling all of the United States. And the fewer of these numbers, their numbers will reach further with a tighter grip. And their personalities control your future treatment. Your future is the center point. You are but a few to consider, and even fewer to care about what your future is. And the reasoning is your logical and deductive and critical thought process has been blocked. Your neurosensors are not putting out, they're not working like they're supposed to. And the Swiss octagon is closing in on everybody, and they want mass It's going to be mass distinction. They're going to use genocides like you ain't seen yet.